Shalom guys, it's Bronson there for here. Let's try to kick some ass, take names on this fucking shit. So from what I read, we are capable of beating those things, but it has to be done like every 3 minutes. They come out. We gotta use some sort of magic or some shit to beat them. Kind of wardens of this place need to come out every 3 minutes. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yaksha Archer, the bows, Stark Snap, Dolph Kindle Fry, the arrows tip, Dolph Chaos inside, blind eyes traded for an enlightened heart, fate's ear, death to a benevolent start. And the path of Yaksha King was betrayed by the celestial beings, leading to the massacre of the royal family and the downfall of the Yaksha Kingdom. After the kingdom's collapse, the Yakshas were forced into exile. The ceremonial archers who once guarded the royal entourage clung to their former glory and refused to shed their ornate honor. Despite their exceptional arching skills, their slow shooting speed and lack of close combat prowess made their exile particularly harsh. Yeah. Due to their inadequate strength, they resorted to ambushes from the shadows. Yaba assigned them to the Pagoda realm for rigorous training. They endured daily torment there, especially when the money wheel played its beguiling chants, driving everyone mad. During these times, the blade monks would seize the opportunity to behead archers with their large blades, leaving the Yaksha archers desperate for a way to fight back. They sought guidance from various sources and frequently challenged the blade monks, only to be defeated repeatedly. One day, some blade monks came to oversee the Pagoda realm. They blinded themselves to pursue the path to ultimate bliss, yet their martial arts were incredibly refined. Yaksha archers asked for their advice, and the monks replied, "Aim too carefully and you will lose the initiative. Learn from me, gouge out your eyes and you will shoot from the heart, never missing your mark," with the only option available to them being annihilation archers after this drastic measure, gouging out their eyes. After this, the blade monks rarely targeted them. When asked why, a blade monk replied, "Who would want to go up against a madman? It's safer to just find another opponent." That's funny. Yeah, those things are tough and scare the shit on me, but they're not impossible to beat. Lantern Warden. Ancient temple trees reach high in dungeon shadows. Life's threads lie in darkness. Light appears, most vivid at the abyss near. Um, yeah, these people are tough. The ancient temple on a mountain peak, weathered by the passage of time, had gradually fallen to disrepair. When the abbot returned after many years and saw the temple in such a state of ruin, he was filled with sorrow. Determined to restore the temple to its former glory, he spent a large amount of gold and silver it to fund its reconstruction, hoping to showcase his path to the ultimate bliss. The abbot selected a towering forest in the mountains, intending to use the ancient trees there as beams for the new temple. The craftsmen responsible for the timber set up their shelters at the edge of the forest and began felling the trees according to the abbot's instructions. Everything proceeded smoothly, and within half a year, all the necessary timber was prepared. The craftsmen received their wages and packed up, ready to descend the mountain the next day. That night, a craftsman on night watch was patrolling the area, carrying a lantern. Suddenly, rustling sounds from the forest set his nerves on edge. Terrified, he woke everyone up. With their lanterns lit and axe in hand, all the craftsmen headed into the forest to locate the source of the sound. As they ventured deeper into the forest, someone let out a scream and was abruptly dragged into the darkness along with his lantern by an unknown force. Then, one by one, despite their attempts to hide and flee, all craftsmen were all dragged away. Only one clever craftsman quickly extinguished his lantern. Trembling with fear, he groped his way through the forest. Fortunately, a faint light appeared in the distance. The sun was about to rise. With this faint light, he found his way back and hurried towards the shelters. As he reached the edge of the forest, the sunlight suddenly became blindingly bright, filling his eyes with a white glare. Ensuring the pain, he looked closer and realized the light was not from the rising sun, but from his companions' lanterns. These lanterns were held up by vines and that had replaced his companions' heads, propping up their corpses. A chubby boy with a pale face, dressed in a yellow robe, rode a tall, four-legged beast whose head emitted strange sounds. Just as the craftsman was about to plead for mercy, he felt a chill in his back. Then he felt himself being lifted higher and higher until he was level with the lanterns. The chubby child patted the beast's head. The sounds ceased, the lanterns went out, and the night returned to its eerie stillness. The chubby boy laughed and said, "Good materials should be used to their fullest." Alright, so it was a Buddha boy who did some shit on some beasts who might control them. From what I read, it's about 9. I'll get him next time. Starved Abomination. Oh yeah, for not warning them, there are 9 of them. Starved Abomination. Abominations do roam the frosty, chilling path with swollen, rumbling bellies, necks adorned in wrath. They spread their mouths freely, cunning and so sly. A fearsome presence to behold, loathsome to the eye. In the past, at the foot of the New West, there was a village called Chongguang. In this village lived a young man who had pleaded his life to a childhood sweetheart. But pledged his life to a childhood sweetheart, giving her a white jade pendant as a token of their love, vowing to propose once he had become successful. The young man was a peddler, making a living by trading grain in the surrounding areas. One day, a luxurious ferry sailed down the river near the village, more splendid than anything the villagers had ever seen. At the bow stood a plump monk in a yellow robe, radiating golden light. The villagers believed he must have been enlightened. At the arrival of the ferry, the temple in the mountains grew larger and larger, and a young man's grain trade flourished. One day, the young man went to trade grain and did not return for over a month. The girl, worried, inquired about the temple's location and went there to find him. When the young man finally returned to the village, they missed each other and the girl disappeared. The young man gathered some brave villagers to search for her in the mountains. They found no trace of her, but came across a towering pagoda by the riverbank. The young man led them there to rest. As they approached the pagoda, the door suddenly opened. Curious, someone peeked inside and screamed. Behind the door was a dungeon extending deep underground, seemingly holding many people. The villagers, filled with righteous anger, stormed into the pagoda. After a few steps, they heard a loud bang and the door vanished. Strange-looking Yaguais with scythes and huge bellies emerged from the prison, laughing wickedly. One of them threw a bag of silvers to the young man and then eagerly leapt forward, swinging his scythe and cutting the nearest villagers into pieces. Realized they had been deceived by the young man. The villagers fled deeper into the prison. The young man watched him and murmured, "Having lost my love, I cannot afford to lose my wealth." Damn. I don't know what the fuck happened, but that was some sad shit. I don't know. Alright, so there's no respawn. That's good news. Blade Monk. A foolish monk who hears a wise voice divine, beheading seen as practice, and evil so refined, crooked paths lead to ever twisted ways. The wicked blade awakens, yet the mind still strays. The Yakshas who sought refuge in the New West were mostly unwilling to sever their old grudges, and thus served as lay disciples in the temple. Some Yakshas, however, aspired to attain enlightenment and shaved their hair to become inner disciples. They had promised their masters to sever 1,000 heads to prove their resolve. The yellow brow was pleased and bestowed upon them special blades, calling them blade monks, and allowed them to practice in the pagoda realm. If they truly managed to behead 1,000 foes, they could become arhats in the main hall. Initially, the blade monks thought this task would be easy, as the pagoda realm was filled with the newcomers on the path of enlightenment. However, the path grew more challenging as they found the remaining inhabitants of the pagoda realm to all be formidable adversaries. The Algin and elusive starved abominations whom they couldn't catch. the long-limbed lantern warriors whom they dared not provoke, the temperamental enslaved yakshas whose cruel vengeance they feared, and even the weakest yaksha archers who had become mad and terrified after practicing the closed eye meditation technique. Seeing that the red-haired yakshas often sat quietly alone, appearing very docile, they decided to target them. Although the red-haired yakshas believed all things deserve to live, they harbored a deep hatred for those who beheaded others due to the war that destroyed their nation and their own fate. Thus, they showed no mercy in probably beheading the blade monks who attempted to do so. After this lesson, the blade monks became subdued but remained resentful. They often hid in corners, ambushing passersby to add to their count of beheading through their treacherous means. Oh, interesting. Increase mana and then stamina recovery. Wait, did I see Chinese for a second? I wonder how strong those red-haired yakshas are. That's the only path. Epic restart shit. What the fuck was that? Enslaved Yaksha. Oh, true continents, how pure and bright, yet karma binds in debts of fly. With halberd in hand, I fear their gaze. From humble roots, my sorrow stays. In the northwest borderlands of the kingdom of Yetwal, there was a small village where an elderly couple had been childless for many years. One day, the old man went into the mountain to chop wood and discovered a young child under an ancient tree. The child's skin was dark and his appearance frightening, quite different from the village children. Seeing his frail limbs, the body covered in scars, the old man assumed he was a refugee and brought him home. The old woman also found the child unusual and initially wanted to send him away. However, after washing, dressing, and feeding him, she couldn't help but feel some affection for him. After some discussion, the couple decided to keep him. At first, the couple treated the child very well, but within a year, due to his strange appearance, villagers often began to gossip and call him ugly slave. The old couple, feeling ashamed, also started treating him less kindly and even called him the same way as villagers did. Within 2 years, his skin turned a dark green, and the couple made him wear thick clothes to cover his entire body, forbidding him to take them off even in the scorching heat. 3 years later, the ugly slave grew more robust, and horns began to sprout from his head. The old man, increasingly fearful, confined him to the woodshed. Whenever he was angry, he would enter and whip the child, sometimes even using the hatchet to cut off his horns, leaving him covered in blood. The old woman, disgusted by this sight, blamed everything on the child. She would beat him when upset, and even burn him with fire when she felt ashamed. The ugly slave endured his torment in the woodshed for another 5 years. One day, a group of wandering Yakshas passed by and heard the curses in the Yaksha tongue coming from the woodshed. They broke it and found their tormented kin. They gave the ugly slave a long halberd, and in his fury, he stormed into the house and paid the old couple for all they had done to him. Years later, the ugly slave's resentment still simmers, and only by tormenting his prey can he find any semblance of joy. That's fucked up, but yeah, people will abuse you for being different. nice little read before I head out for tonight or today. Red-haired Yaksha, that was a fucking demon. With sword in hand, the foe's chest pierced. Blood-soaked hair in battle fears, endless sorrow for a fallen land, each wind size as winds stand. In the kingdom of Yaksha, there were 8 great generals, one of whom was named Miyan. He had once practiced under the Golden Summit Immortal at the Yujin Temple, located at the foot of Mount Lingshan. Having fought countless battles, he possessed the valor of a warrior who could face 10,000 enemies. See, when a formidable enemy attacked, the Yaksha king appointed Miyan as the vanguard general. Miyan set up a large camp at the border and addressed his soldiers. If any of you fear battle, walk away now, and I won't hold against you. But know that if we lose this foothold, the kingdom will fall, our elders, children, and all our wealth will become the property of our enemies. With these words, he and the entire army swore a blood oath to advance and never retreat. The Yaksha army, isolated and outnumbered, faced an enemy surrounding them on all sides. Their banners blotting out the sky. Wave after wave, the enemy forces attacked relentlessly. Miyan and his troops fought fiercely, suffering heavy casualties. Ultimately, Miyan was surrounded by numerous Arhats and was beheaded. The soldiers, countless among them, having sacrificed their lives, retrieved their general's head, placing Miyan's head in his coffin. They witnessed his body slowly sit up and lament. If you lose our homeland, what difference does it make whether I have a head or not? With these words, he closed his eyes and fell back down, finally passing away as blood gushed from his neck, staining his hair red. Later, his subordinates, in a display of full team bravery, poured the blood of their enemies over their heads, emulating Miyan. Despite their valor, the kingdom of Yaksha was ultimately destroyed, but not a single soldier from Miyan's army deserted. Damn, that's fucking brutal. Yeah, they're tough as hell. For sure. Alright, guys, all right, first one here, Bruce 3 out. Peace with you, then I'm going to see you later.